Or Bob Newhart.
I can't do it, Bob Newhart.
He would say, table top coffee. Poor guy.
That was really good.
Yeah. Hey everybody, I am Chuck Rogers and my very good friend Keith Dunn, and together we are Tabletop Coffee, where we talk about how to
Be bold and never...
ever bitter.
Yeah. It's tough not being bitter.
It's difficult.
Life throws you just all kinds of different curveballs.
All the time, so you better be swinging all the time.
Hey, bada, swing, bada.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, tonight we're going to talk a little bit more about how to deal with difficult people. You know, we had that other segment where we did a two-part series on how to deal with difficult people, where we talked about really the three options. One is do nothing, which is what most people do. They just continue to go through it. Number two is you can, cut the relationship completely off. And then we went through the scuba technique.
Oh, yeah.
Self-contained.
Self-contained underwater breathing apparatus.
Yeah,
See, I've got that part now because you drilled that into me last time because I couldn't remember what it was.
Yeah, but when we were talking about it with relationships, it's sustaining contact utilizing brief activities. Scuba.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what I got out of both of those videos?
No telling.
Oh, I've realized how many things in life are heavy. Did you notice how many times you said heavy?
There's that word again, heavy.
Not until you pointed it out is in the editing process. Yeah. I said heavy a lot.
There's that word again, heavy.
It was in there a lot. But it was fun that the word heavy was used.
I must have had a heavy day.
There's that word again, heavy.
Just count them. Count the number of heavies you get in each one of the videos and put them in the comments below. Oh, come on, man. It's heavy.
But tonight... we're going to specifically talk just about the other piece about doing the really difficult thing of cutting somebody out of your life if the relationship is just toxic, if it's just unhealthy. What are you going to do about that?
Okay. There are definitely going to be some things that some people that maybe you or people that you know have been through this.
Really heavy.
Yeah. Absolutely. Very heavy.
Stay tuned. Not too long ago, I had a conversation with a guy about this, and we talked about different ways to handle this relationship, because they were a part of the same friend group, but this particular person was so heavy, and he really had fond feelings for her and liked a lot of things about her, but just knew what would happen if the relationship resumed. And so he journaled it out and looked at the pros and cons about what to do, and then decided that he was going to let her know that she mattered to him, but that the relationship with her was just too heavy.
Okay.
And so he would speak to her and be kind and so forth, and would be cordial, but that he just would not be able to remain in relationship.
What a tough thing to do.
It really is. I had another client. This was a kind of extreme situation. I've had lots of examples over the years, but this particular client came and was addicted to cocaine.
Oh.
Very functioning.
Sure.
Cocaine addicted person, and really desired to quit. And she did so many things so right.
Okay.
But then there was one particular friend that every time she would be around this friend, she would use again. We talked about, principles of NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and you change faces and places. When you decide to be clean is clean, and to be in recovery, you don't go around the same places. You can't be around the same using people again.
Right.
Or people, places, and things. You have to change those things. And she understood that. She said, but I truly love this woman. She's a good friend, a childhood friend. They grew up together, and they use cocaine. We talked about it, and I said, well, we can try it, but I don't see it working well for you. So she was stay clean, and she'd come in and check in, and then invariably she would have had contact with this person, so she would start to use again. And then one day she came in and she goes, yeah, I just gotta sever this relationship. So we talked about how to do it, and we talked about the honest approach of going and saying, look, I love you, I just can't be in a relationship with you as long as you're using cocaine. And she knew her friend wouldn't give up the cocaine. She said, yeah, I'm not going to do it that way. I said, well, how are you going to do it? She says, well, I'm just going to let it kind of float away. And she says, I don't think if I just let it go and don't make contact with her or don't return her calls or text, I think it will just kind of end itself. And that actually happened. It worked. It wasn't my choice. It was her choice to deal with it that way.
Right.
Okay. And she was right. That worked. And she was able to stay clean and get into recovery and do well. So
great.
that's an extreme example involving drugs. But it doesn't have to be that extreme. It may mean that there's no drugs, no alcohol involved. It may just mean that it's emotionally, relationally unhealthy to be around that person.
Right. Man, those are just really tough situations to be in. That's
so
right.
It's not like there's a good decision to be made. It's just which one is the most acceptable and which one's going to be the most healthy for me. That's not going to feel good.
Right.
Which is going to be the better choice for me to make.
And people have a difficult time with that, though, because...
Oh, yeah, it's huge.
Because looking at the situation and saying, this is what's best for me, that can almost feel like a selfish way of looking at things.
It can. I think that the word selfish gets a really bad rap. I mean, I go to the gym selfishly, I eat selfishly, I breathe selfishly.
Okay.
And I make other decisions that are selfish as well.
Right.
I think selfish in a bad context or an unhealthy context is I'm going to make decisions that are in my best interest regardless of how it affects you.
Right.
I think the healthy way is to say, I'm going to have to make these decisions because this is what I need for me at this particular season of my life. And it might hurt me in the process, but I have to make this decision.
Okay. Well, that's a good way to look at that. I appreciate that. Thank you guys for coming to another episode of Tabletop Coffee. It's we cover some really deep topics here.
Yeah, sometimes.
And some of the stories just really dig into real life situations for people. If you have any other stories, or if you have something that you've dealt with difficult people, put that in the comments below so that we can talk about that in one of our other segments.
Sure.
Yeah. Be sure, if you like the content here, to subscribe. And also click that bell so you're notified of any new content that's coming out. And also,
Like it.
like it, share it with your friends.
Thanks, everyone.
Until next time.